John, thank you for making time. How you doing, man?
I'm great. How you doing, sir?
We're great, man. How cool is this for you tonight to have the John Wall celebration, the bobbleheads? They're going to have the scores table, just all of it. What does it mean for you?
Oh, it's just a real moment, a dream come true. You know what I mean? Having an opportunity to make it to the NBA, that's always a dream. It's something that a lot of us as kids don't think can really happen until it happens. And then you have the opportunity to be with a franchise and be a franchise guy. And you're trying to start it all over and get the city back to some excitement, some great basketball, make a playoff run, try to win championships and things like that. And we all set goals for ourselves and set goals for the team. Some of them I accomplished, some of them I didn't accomplish. But I think everything I meant for the city and what the city has meant for me is watching me grow as a young boy to a man. This is a surreal moment for me and a big night for me.
John, a lot of people mention it all the time about your connection with the city. I think we talk about what you do on the court. Everybody knows that. Why was it so important for you to connect with this city and the people in it?
Well, for one, that's how you get the recognition. That's how you get the respect on the basketball court is what you do off the court. Basketball, my mom always told me, it's great to be known as a good basketball player, but it's better to be known as a greater person. So that's one thing I've always instilled in me. And giving back to the community, a lot of people have the money to give, but I'd rather give my time. So if I have an event from 7-11, I like to be there from 7-11. So I think that was important to me, and just letting everybody know I'm normal. I'm just like them. I'm a regular human being. I just have opportunity to play the game at the highest level that I love, and it give me opportunity to do other things.
So, John, to that point, I have a number of friends that are involved in like the D.C. high school basketball scene and the summer leagues and all that stuff. And I've heard a ton of stories of you just going to high school basketball games because you love watching the hoop, including, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, where there was the DMV High School Hoops Day, and you got asked to come one day and speak to the teams, and that was televised on Monumental. But then you just showed up the next day because you wanted to watch. Like, what does it mean to you to be involved in hoops on like the high school level and showing kids how far you can go?
Well, for one, I love the game. That just lets you know the volume, how much love I have for this game and respect I have for it. But most importantly, I know every top high school player from girls to boys, from high school, college, in the WNBA or NBA, and I think a lot of people really know me, understand that. And it's a great basketball. And also on my own basketball tournament, like one of the best basketball tournaments in the country. So to be able to do that, I don't care for the cameras. They do that because it's part of the job, and sometimes we have to do that. But I went back because there's good basketball going on, and it was girls basketball playing, and I wanted to see some great basketball.
I love that, man. Mm-hmm. And as you kind of transition to this media side of your career, what are you enjoying in this role, both working with Wiz Games and working with NBA TV all over the league?
Well, and I'm Amazon Prime. Can't forget about them, because without them, this night wouldn't be what it is. But most importantly, just taking a challenge. It's a new career for me. It's something, new space that I've never thought about being in. It's an opportunity that came my way, and something that I get to share my basketball knowledge, the love of the game I have for it, my IQ, and I'm enjoying it. It's like coming into my rookie year. I'm good at it. I think I could be a lot better. I think I could be special at it. It's like, are you going to put the work in? And you get those accomplishments and do those things. So that's how I'm approaching this whole process of it.
John, when I watch football, I look at it, and I'm sure I look at it differently than most people. What is it that you focus on more when you're watching the game, unlike some other people?
Well, the hard part for me is I'm looking at people and I want them to play like me, which is not fair to nobody. So I got to look at it like you probably know. You see, you talking about football.
Yeah.
A quarterback and a point guard is the same. I got to know everybody's position. I got to know every play. I got to know the other team plays. I got to know what coverages people in and what's going to be right. So for me, I'm looking at who's been a true point guard, who's playing the right way. What are the things I would ask this person to do if he was my center, if he was my two guard? And just knowing, certain guys where they want to place them at, when they want to shoot basketballs and things like that. So I watch the game at a different level, and I kind of see plays before the play's supposed to happen. And it'd be funny because we'd be in studio, and I'd be like, all right, he about to shoot this step back right here. And once they do it, they'd be like, how you know? I'm like, bro, it's just knowing tendency, knowing what players like to do, what they do in late game situations or late shot clock situations.
Talking with John Wall ahead of John Wall's celebration tonight at Capital One Arena. So, John, I was telling, we had Zach Leonsis on with us earlier, and I remember exactly where I was when the Wiz won the draft lottery, and everybody in the world knew they were going to take you number 1 overall. What do you remember where you were? Did you watch that draft lottery, or were you kind of just like, oh, I know chips will fall where they go?
Nah, for sure I wanted to see. I was, rest in peace, my old agent, Dan Fagan, back in the day. I was at his house. We had a little watch lottery party at his house. I was watching it there. And it's like everybody thought I was going to New Jersey because they were supposed to get to the 1 pick. Then they fell to 3. And then it was between Philly and Washington. I'm like, this is 2 great places because Philly is one of my favorite players of all time, play Allen Iverson. So I'm like, ooh, there's going to be some pressure there. And then 1 is where my dad's from in Washington, D.C., and it's only 4 hours from North Carolina. So I'm like, I'll be in 2 great spots. And when D.C. won it, I was like, damn, bro, I'm going to the nation's capital. This is amazing.
That's so cool. And then when you in your rookie year, I mean, you played 70 games as a rookie, a lot of minutes. You played at a really high level for a 20-year-old dude coming into the league. Did you have like a welcome to the NBA moment? Was something like, whoa, this is hard or different in that rookie season?
Yeah, I think just Steve Nash, the way he like damn near started the game going perfect against me. I mean, running around underneath the basket, all that. But I also say I had a stretch when I had to play Rondo, D Rose and then go on the West Coast and got Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Steve Nash, Darren Williams. That was a stretch of like 6 games. I had all those guys who, at that time, outside of like Tony Parker, it was like the top guards in the league. And I'm like, damn, why is this on my schedule? Like, this is going to be my welcome to the NBA moment. But I try to explain to a lot of people, on top of playing 70 games and playing a lot of minutes, we practice a lot. I used to practice 2 hours, 3 hours a day with the team, on top of, the individual work you have to do for yourself. So that's a lot of wear and tear on your body as a young player. But I had all the energy, and I was just super ecstatic just to be playing.
You mentioned Allen Iverson and another guy who was very fast on the court. People talk about your speed on the court. What did you take from Allen's game and implement it in yours?
Well, for one, I was a small guard. I wasn't tall until almost the end of my 10th grade year. I was only like 5'8", 5'7" my whole life. So I've always a guy that had a crazy crossover, got to the rim, was tough as nails, and that's what I had, that competitive edge. And then when I grew, instead of shooting layups, I started dunking the ball. So that's what I had for me. And I mean, my whole life I was always able to get to wherever I wanted to. So it was so much easier for me. So watching AI, I'm just like, bro, this guy's just pound for pound, too tough. He's OD.
How did it feel, whatever that was, your sophomore, junior year of high school, when you went from layups to dunks? I never experienced that feeling. Like, how
JP
cool is
still
that?
laying up.
Well, I tell you the funny thing. Everybody was like, oh, John Wall's good, whatever, in my hometown. And then when layups start turning from finger rolls to dunks on centers and stuff, there's oh, man, it's a real chance you can go to the league now because, at 5'7", 5'8", you got to be a great shooter or, like, just make a tough floater. And at the time, I never had to work on that because I've always got to where I wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have all the trainers and the things that these guys have now, which is great and amazing. I wish I've had that. So I was like, okay, now I'm dunking on centers. Oh, yeah, it's up now. Like, please don't make me mad.
So look, I saw them do something for D Rose the other night, and he tried to hold back the tears. Are you gonna be able to hold back the tears, Jay?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm an emotional guy, bro, because I'm just an emotional guy because like all the stuff I have overcome in my entire life and seeing what I've never thought was an option. I mean, going to college, that was never on my mind. I mean, for me, it was just making it to 18 years old. Wow. Then to see myself go to college, everybody say he's going to be there 3-4 years. He's not going to be a one and done. I do my thing and dominate college. Then I go to the draft, and since my junior year, senior year, it's like, oh, he could be the number 1 pick. I'm like, how? Like, out of all odds, if 60 people get drafted, why? What makes me so special to be a number 1 pick? So a lot of that comes to a credit of my mom, the people I had around me. Shout out to God, because without his blessing with my ability and talent, none of this is possible. So I think just for all that, it's just so surreal. And then to be back to a place where I never wanted to leave, got traded, that was a tough spot to be in, to rebuild a relationship with the organization again and get back on good terms, to be able to work with Monumental Sports. And then on top of it, my biggest blessing is having my 2 boys here, to be able to witness and see the love that I got and see some of the highlights and understand what I did while I had on the Wizards jersey.
Wow.
John, we're going to ask you about the shot against the Celtics. Obviously, everybody remembers that shot against the Celtics. It's iconic. It's probably the highlight of your career in Washington. And I got to say how cool it is. You know, you mentioned how you got traded and things transpire, but it's so great that you're embracing the city and the city's embracing you and you're working with Monumental. But I think for me as a fan that watched your whole career, when you played with the broken hand, I think it was 2015 in the playoffs against Atlanta. What was that pain like? What's it like for a point guard to try to play through a broken hand and then play at a really high level?
For one, I was mad because I did it early on in the game and nobody really noticed, and I just kept playing because the adrenaline was going.
Right.
And I go take a shower, and I got a muffin hand. I'm like, boy, I can't even wash my back with my left hand. Like, what's going on? So I'm mad because we win game one. You know, your adrenaline is high. I'm like, okay, we got a chance to really win this series. And we still had a chance when I came back. Then I missed game 2, 3, and 4, and I'm like, bro, whatever y'all got to do, y'all got to numb my hand, whatever. I got to get back out here. Like, I need this. I need this bump. So I did everything I could every day, like just trying to do anything I could. And it was tough. Like, I couldn't get smacked on my hand, anything. It was just a lot of pain. I had 5 fractures in my hand. But that just lets you know, like, how much I love the game, how much I was trying to give to this organization, and what I was trying to bring. You know what I mean? I didn't reach my ultimate goal, but I was just trying to let them know I'm willing to go through a brick wall to accomplish what I said I was going to accomplish.
I love that.
That's
and
good
then
stuff, brother.
Another game, again, I remember y'all had a first-round series against Toronto, and every game day, I don't know why I decided to do this, but I was just trying to think of things DC had that Toronto didn't. And every day I would go take a picture of Popeyes on Wisconsin Avenue and tweet it at Drake. That was my way of S-talking the city of Toronto. And hey, it worked. Y'all won the series, so I did my part. But I remember in 2017, before we get to the Boston series, you dropped, I think it was 40 or 42 against Atlanta in the clincher. What was that game like for you? What was that game like for you when you're just filling it up from everywhere? I think you knocked down all your free throws in that game, and you guys clinched that thing. What does that feel like when you're on one like that in the playoffs?
Well, it was a big moment for me because like that goes back to the series when I fractured my hand. We should have won Game 5. I blocked in a shorter layup, which I'm surprised they challenged me for a game winner. Blocked it, and Al Horford gets the rebound and makes the putback. You remember that? We lose that, so now we're down 3-2. And they come back and beat us Game 6 at home. And that haunted me because I'm like, bro, I know we should have won that series. We should have been in the Eastern Conference Finals. So that next time I get back and we get Atlanta first round, I say, oh, yeah, it's up now. This is all get back. This is all get back I'm going for. So that game, I remember it was up big. I got subbed out maybe for like 2 minutes at max maybe in the fourth quarter, and we give the lead away. And Brad tried to make a pass. He sprained his ankle. And I remember chasing Dennis Schroeder down and blocking his shot. And then I made a tough layup after that, and I just went on a spree. I had like 20-something in the fourth quarter. And it was just funny because like, you get in those zones, the basketball looked like an ocean, and I was getting to my mid-range, which helped me elevate my game to another level, and it was just bread and butter from there.
We hear people talk about Michael Jordan changing and adding something to his game every year, to keep himself, I guess, ahead of people. How was that with you, trying to add something to your game, and how important is it?
Well, it was important for me, like I told you. Like, I never had to worry about shooting jumpers. I always can get to the basket and do whatever I wanted. Mm-hmm. And at that time, coming into the league, it was 2 true centers, a power forward and a center at the time, so the paint was packed a lot. It wasn't no stretch floors or stretch fives. So guys were going to these screens, and I'm like, bro, I got to get better. Like, I can't allow people to go on the screens like this. That's hurting me as a player, and I'm taking bad shots and not making them, and I'm also hurting my team because I'm not letting us evolve. So what I did, I had great coach in Sam Cassell who helped me master the mid-range at the elbow. He said, bro, just get to the sweet spot, and guys got to go over screens. The game will open up so much more for you. And I started to do that. Then I started adding a 3-ball and knocking it down from time to time when I needed to. And that's why my game blossomed, and that's why I was able to make the jump I did.
Talking with 2010 number 1 overall pick John Wall, 5-time NBA All-Star here in Washington with the Wizards. And you talked about you started knocking that 3 down when you needed to. No shot bigger, I imagine, in your career than the end of Game 6 against the Celtics when you knocked down that 3, jump on the scorer's table. What do you remember from that game that night and just all that it meant?
I made everything because I knew the season was on the line. I didn't start off the game on a good note, and then I got it going. I think I started out like 0 for 9. I remember I threw the ball in bounds in front of the Celtics bench. got it back and made my first three, and then in the second half, I just got it going. I've always said, I put the work in, I believe in it. Some nights shots fall, some nights they don't, and I was going out swinging. So it was funny because the play wasn't for me. I ran to the corner. It was for Brad. He didn't get open in time, and I tiptoed the sideline to get the ball. And I had a great defender who I battled with since high school, Avery Bradley, in front of me. And I was like, one, if I drive to the basket, I'm not getting a foul. And two, he might get a steal. I can't lose a game like this. So I just rose up, and God was on my side and let the ball go in the basket that night.
Dude, you had 3 points at halftime in that game and finished with 26.
That's the only shot I hit in front of the Celtics bench.
26, 8, and 4 in a game 6 that y'all had to have. Just an epic moment. I'm curious for you, maybe non-playoff moments, because when that arena was rocking and everybody was yelling DC3 and throwing the hands up in the air. Do you have like a favorite moment? Obviously not that playoff one because that might be the top of the list, but are there favorite DC moments for you beyond that?
To me, you can say opening night when I come here and I get to do the Dougie and everybody's like, what the hell is he doing? He better have a good game. Which I'm glad I had a good game. I'm glad I had a good game. Almost had a quadruple double, and then we win. That was big. So they couldn't bash me too much on the internet. Definitely the game with Maya. That's another big game. Just making the playoffs for my first time and winning that series, getting that first playoff win against the Bulls. That's another moment. I mean, the game when I broke the steals record, the game when I broke the assist record. There's so many great memories, and I just don't want to never single out any one of them. But there's so many of them that was special, and it means a lot to me.
But John, you mentioned the Dougie, and we had Zach on earlier, and I told him he needs to do the Dougie tonight. You want to bring the house down? Get Ted to do it with
you. We'll be waiting.
No
doubt, I do that. I might save that for another day. We have another big day down the road.
All right, I got you.
John, when the Wiz are right, that building can be electric. What do you think about this young Wiz team they're putting together, and how far away do you think we are from seeing that building being electric again?
I think it's not too far away. I love the young core they got. I mean, those guys are developing. They all working. I think adding Trae Young is a great piece. Another guy that can be the next franchise guy if they go that route. But I think a guy that's proven himself in this league, one of the best point guards in the league when healthy. I'm excited for him, man. Alex Sarr is making a jump. All those guys are doing what they need. I think the most important thing is seeing what you get in the draft this year. I think that takes the jump of what they're going. I think they jumped the gun of moving a little fast. Everybody said they got a 5-year stint that they're trying to get it in. This is 3. Next year's 4. So I think they said, okay, we got to make some moves. You got some great money in cap space to try to get some free agents. And I think it's a place that's evolving. It's a place that I want to see it back rocking. I want to be a part of the side of where I'm at now to enjoy it, embrace it, because I know how much this city loves sports. They love basketball, and they definitely need it again.
What do you think of Trae Young's game? Obviously, he's hurt right now, but how much can he accelerate this rebuild?
I don't think Trae Young needs no introduction or too much talking about what he can do. You know what I mean? Be honest. A guy that led the league in assists before, what he does is special, man. A guy that's smart can shoot the ball from any range. I think he's going to open the floor for everybody. Allow guys to understand that, hey, we need you to get open shots. I can create that. You need somebody to get in the paint. I can do that. And I think that's one thing the Wizards don't have right now is a guy that can get in the paint at will. You get 10 toes in that paint, you get shots, you get lobs for Alex Sarr. He's going to take his game to another level. To understanding when you can pick and pop, win the roll, when to go catch lobs. You got shooting in Trey Johnson, Keyshawn George, Bilal, Bub, all those guys. So I think it's in the right direction. I think they just got to figure out what they want to do and who they want to keep and add on to what they have.
Mm-hmm.
So, John, indulge me if you can. One of the highlights of my career is a moment that is now living on the internet. This is many years ago when the studio was in Bethesda. And so we worked with C. Mill and everybody at the old CSN. And you came to Bethesda to do a bunch of different interviews and stuff. And I got 5 minutes with you because I was the head digital reporter at the time. And you and I were sitting in one of the studios in these weird little chairs. And I asked what you thought of the bruh meme that was always on the internet and stuff. And you recreated it in the chair. I don't know if you remember that, but that was legitimately one of the highlights of my career. And that meme still goes everywhere.
I got the meme saved in my phone. It's funny because if somebody send me something, I'm like, bro, I ain't trying to hear that. So it's funny. But at the time, I was mad because I'm like, bro, is we getting whooped in the game in Atlanta, and they want to catch me drop my head back. I'm like, bro, that lets me know the camera is always working. It do never stop working.
Oh, yeah.
So always pay attention to what you was doing.
Well, at least more
100%.
people now use the meme from us in studio than they do from the actual game where it started, right?
Yeah, for sure.
John, you deserve all the praise tonight. I think it's going to be a really fun night in the arena. Is there any one thing you're most excited about tonight?
I think just everything. I'll be honest, I can't pick out one single moment, but I think just being able to walk on the court again, get some love from the fans and the organization, and like I said, just having my kids there, that's going to be a whole lot to me.
Soak it all
That's
in,
cool.
brother. Soak it
That's
all
cool.
up.
And what are the
Appreciate it. Thank
chances of
y'all.
of a Dougie tonight?
Nah, we got to save. I'm telling you, if I get that other day, and if it all fits with the organization want to do, that will be the walk-off that I will give y'all.
All right. Gotcha.
Thank you for the time, John.
All right, Jay.
Appreciate it, man.
Take care,
All
brother.
right, thank y'all.
All right, man.
All right.